Hello. Here we are in our basement where we have a grow light. And these are our tomatoes from last year. We saved them before the first snowstorm. And they're indeterminate, obviously. And so we just keep cloning them. And so here we're looking for these new branches and trying to thin this out because there are aphids down here. It's kind of cold, which I think helps maintain the population, but you can see the tomatoes are doing just fine. It's never under 40. And because these plants are already mature, when we clone them by vegetative reproduction, they're already setting flowers. They're already there. We don't have to wait 100 days for them to reach that maturity level. And then you can see here on the stem that in a wild environment, a tomato-like plant would be advantageous, and whenever the stem touched the soil, that would induce a hormonal response to develop roots from the stem body, and that's kind of what you're seeing with all of these little nodules there. And then we're going to put these in a jar, and when we get upstairs, I'll show you some that are already mature. They set roots. The water also stimulates that root growth, and they root out in just about a week's time, and then we can plant them out in soil again. So now I'm in the kitchen with my stems that I cut off my tomato forest, and now I can just put them in this mason jar with water and they'll root. And if I want to speed it up, I could use something like this, a rooting hormone. But in such a small quantity of water, I wouldn't even measure out any kind of amount. I would just start to put water in there and just rinse out the cap. Because this stuff is very concentrated. So in this tiny, tiny jar, I would really need merely a drop. And then I'm just going to stick these stems in the water. Hold on. And now I'm going to put this up in my window. I have this grow light, same light, up here in the kitchen, and we've grown some amazing things up here. Right now we have these marigolds and this geranium that I was just about to give to my neighbor. And while we're on the subject, these marigolds were planted from seed. They don't work for vegetative reproduction. They're annuals, and they propagate by seed only, not by root fragment or stem fragment. The indeterminate tomatoes, if we lived in a tropical climate, wouldn't have any particular seasonality to them either. And same with these geraniums. These geraniums were grown from stems that were cuttings. A parent plant got kind of leggy, and then we just cut a stem, and now we have this gorgeous blooming forest in our kitchen.